Hello, everyone. This is Daryl Guberman, the CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. Background aerospace, etc., many industries. This is a direct video to the management of the IAM 751. This goes directly to Jon Holden, the president, Lloyd Caitlin, his doorkeeper, and Tony. When I saw Tony, he said, Daryl, I can't meet with you. But I said, I came 3,000 miles to meet with you, Tony. He finally sat down, we discussed things, and he stayed with me for almost 3 hours. We wrote it down. We have it written, Tony. After I got done with our discussion, I wrote it down. I have copious amounts of notes in my diary. I'm doing this because I got back in October. I contacted Kelly Ortberg, sending him a document just like this, just like that. Sorry for the backwards. I haven't learned how to invert it yet so you can see it. We contacted him as well. But this goes to you. October, November, December, January, February, 4 months later, still no call, John. Not even an apology. What is that telling me about the human being that you are? Oh, let me get into the letter. Boeing's influence over IAM 751, how Jon Holden was blocked from meeting QA expert Daryl Guberman. John, I contacted IAM 751 Union Hall many times only to be met with inactivity and a voicemail and no return calls. When I was out there at Everett, Auburn, Renton, and Northfield, I asked those same questions to the rank and file of IAM 751. They said, Daryl, we're members and they don't respond. We're members and they put us into the voicemail and nobody gets back to us. Those were their exact words. Every place I went. I got fed up with their lack of response, knowing that the information I had could have helped the rank and file secure their 40%, raise and get their pensions back. I didn't just make phone calls. I took action. I traveled on my own dime 3,000 miles to Washington State on a mission to meet Jon Holden, the president of IAM 751. Let me give you a little bit of history, John, if I may, and Lloyd, and Tony. On April 17, 2024, I attended a DHS subcommittee hearing on the whistleblower Sam Salapar, who exposed Boeing design flaws in Boeing 777 and 787 aircraft. I wasn't invited. I went because I knew the truth needed to be heard. Sitting in the gallery, I held two key documents proving that Boeing had relinquished on-site auditing at its suppliers for over 22 years. These documents contained dangerously weak and libel verbiage, stating that Boeing would only conduct supplier audits if need be or if need arises. I kept exposing this and hammering at Boeing because these phrases show complete lack of accountability, but responsible and liable for quality issues. Boeing must have known I was right because by January 2025, that means these documents, these customer notifications were written in April and July of 2002 and kept on the Boeing supplier portal for 23 years until I stood up on Capitol Hill, and I kept on hammering away at what does if need arises or if need be means. Those supplier notification letters disappeared January 2025 from their portal. More than likely, their attorneys saw the liability and said, that guy Guberman is correct. On June 18, 2024, I went to see David Calhoun, Boeing's former CEO, at Capitol Hill at the DHS subcommittee. That day, I witnessed something unforgettable. A woman stood up holding a picture of her daughter, and with every ounce of strength in her voice, she screamed at Calhoun, "You killed my daughter, you killed my family." It was a moment of raw truth. Then Senator Josh Hawley asked Calhoun a pointed question. Is it true that you received 45% raise in 2023? Calhoun begrudgingly admitted yes. When I returned home from that hearing, I took action. I gathered letters of recommendation from customers, associates, and friends, and wrote to every member of Boeing's board. A 42-page certified package with 11 letters of recommendation. Why? Because as a Boeing shareholder, I have a stake in this company. I got all my certified mail receipts back. but no response. I truly believe that I could be the dark horse that Boeing needed, the infusion of leadership that so many media outlets were saying was necessary. Instead, they chose Kelly Ortberg, the former CEO of Rockwell Collins, a company that played a role in the MCAS system failures, which contributed to deaths of 346 people on the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian Air. In October 2024, John, Lloyd, and Tony, I spent nearly a month in Washington State visiting Boeing sites, Renton, Everett, Auburn, and Northfield. I spoke with the rank and file, the machinists, and the people on the ground. I didn't just talk, I listened. And I went there specifically to meet with you, Jon Holden. Here's what happened next. I met with Lloyd Caitlin. He said, no, you can't see him. It's impossible. It's during the union meeting. Yet, let me just say this. Kelly Ortberg went on that Wednesday of a major union ratification, and he gave third-party results of being $6 billion in the red. He wasn't there at Washington when I think he should have been. And what I think should have happened is for 5 or 10 minutes, you have a guy like Daryl Guberman, John, coming out to see you 3,000 miles, and you shunned him. You shut him out. What type of leader is that? Here's what happened next. I received a text message from your doorkeeper, John, Lloyd Caitlin. This is what it said. I spoke to Jon Holden. I have passed the information, including your business card, on to him. He said that he does not have time right now to meet with you with everything that he has going on with this labor dispute with Boeing. He said he will call you at some point in the future, but it will not be before the contract offer is voted and a determination is made by this membership if they are going to ratify this offer or reject it. So let me just say this, John. What does Lloyd mean by that? He separated him and you from the rank and file by saying, he said he will call you at some point in the future, but it will not be before the contract offer is voted and determination is made by this membership. It should have been his membership, Lloyd, John. If we are going to ratify the offer or reject it. Terrible. Instead of arranging a meeting, I was blocked. John, you didn't want to talk. Boeing didn't want me speaking to the workers. So I ask again, to the rank and file of IAM 751 and you, John, who does Jon Holden really serve? The hardworking machinists that I met at Renton, Auburn, Everett, and Northfield? Or Boeing's executive interests? Boeing fears the truth. They fear real leadership. They fear experts who are willing to challenge your failing systems, and that is why I was blocked. In October, after returning home from nearly a month of visiting the rank and file of IAM 751, I sent a 42-page document to Kelly Ortberg containing 11 letters of recommendation. I believe that bringing me on board as a consultant with floor and management access would allow me to implement the quality principles and policies I spent my career mastering in aerospace, medical, and other industries. Rather than simply reshuffling, as Kelly Ortberg is doing, the same entrenched management, Ortberg requires a dynamic, hands-on leader, someone who could relate to both the worker on the floor and the CEO in the boardroom. I sent that booklet, received the green card back for certified mail as a proof of delivery, and yet I'm still waiting for a response. After all, I'm not just offering my expertise, I'm a shareholder. To the IAM workers, IAM 751, you deserve real representation. You deserve leadership that fights for you, not against you. It's time to demand accountability, and I thank you, John and Lloyd and Tony.